Hi, I'm Karin Künnapas, and you're listening to gguttalks, GGUTT.
Twins, kind of, to co-direct the schools. So twin sisters,
So when they started looking for a head of school, I know that both me and Elle-Mari, like we looked at the ad, which is like, yeah, it's such an important position, but it also felt like a huge challenge. And like I was thinking about applying, but I was just like, oh, maybe not. And when we started discussing about doing it together, and we had worked together for 3 years. So at the European Innovation Academy, like I was responsible for the mentors and speakers. She was doing the event management. So we had done events in different countries. We had been through stressful times, but we were also friends. So in that sense, we had and have still like really good communication, and we also trusted each other, and we knew that the other person can do a good job, and also that they will get things done that they promise. And I think that was the motivation. And also we had been thinking about doing maybe like a startup or something together, but we had not come up with a good idea yet. It just made sense. And also like why we want to do it together, because it is at the beginning and it still is such a big project. So kicking it off with a team who knows already how to work together made so much sense, because otherwise, if you have like one head of school, they start recruiting people. If there's somebody they don't know, they have to figure out how to work with them, how to share responsibilities and so on. But we didn't have that. So already from day one, we decided she was responsible for some topics, I was responsible for others. Obviously, we were checking in with each other, but that's how it started working from the beginning. And on the other hand, also, when there's good days, there's somebody you can tell about the good days. And when it's like a bad day or like this kind of frustrating thing, you can also share with them, because they know, because they're in the same situation. You can try to share with friends or like partners or somebody outside, but it's not the same because they're not in the topic every day. But yeah, like this kind of go director thing, it's a different kind of level of trust. And I think with our experience for the last 2 years, I would definitely recommend that to other companies. So if you have a chance, have two people who have like the same kind of level in the company, let's put it that way, because it makes so much sense. And I think it also brings better results. And also for the people who are needing it, both in terms of like sharing stress and sharing joy, it's a more rewarding experience.
Amazing. So how did you get that job? Like, how was the convincing part? I guess that was fun.
Yeah, it I think was the longest process that I've ever had in applying for a job. So it was end of the 2020. So the school was launched or it was announced that this school was going to happen in I think November, December. And then they were looking for a head of school. And it's a bit funny. I think the deadline for applications was like 13th of December. But me and Ella started talking about it on the 14th of December or something like that. And we just decided to send an email to one of the founders and to the recruiting company, because they had the recruiting company doing it. So we basically, the email it was quite to the point. It was like more or less like, okay, we're coming, we're going to do this. We have this experience. Here are links to our LinkedIn profiles. Yeah, if you want to know more, give us a call. And it was like, yeah, it's like, I think it was a very nice, confident email to send. And the next day, the HR company called us. First of all, they wanted to have calls with us separately. So both of us had to explain why we should have this job together, why it should work like this. Then we had an interview with two of the founders. And so that was, I think, a bit this kind of a bit scary, I would say, because both of them are very well-known entrepreneurs and very successful. So we had to convince them. We had to make like a 12-month plan to all the founders. Then we had some personality tests. Then we had like a mock interview. There was something else, but basically the process took like 2 months.
Wow.
And then they told us that, we're a good fit. But I think already when we were doing the 12-month plan to the founders, there was like maybe one or two other candidates. But I think, with the first few meetings and so on, we were managed to convince them. And I think the fact that, we knew how to work as a team was a very big, important thing about that. But yeah, it was an interesting process. But I think also from both of our side, it was something we really wanted to do that. But as I said, like I wasn't actually looking for a job. So it was also like, okay, if we don't get it, I'm going to be sad, but I'm still going to be rooting for the school and supporting it any way that I can. And I'm pretty sure they're going to choose like a really qualified candidate. If I'm going to get it, that's going to be amazing. But yeah, like in both senses, in both ways, it would have been very good.
Nice. And this is the reason I wanted to dig deep into that, because you highly recommended this for to apply as co-directors if, there's a good team with a team that can deliver with good results and, buy into a mission. So that's very good. I mean, in startups, you often see co-CEOs also, not that much, but it's kind of there. I mean, I've seen it multiple times. It's not that you come across that every day. I guess it would have been a bit lonely for you or for your partner to be alone, I guess, starting off this journey.
Yeah. And I think also if we would have done it either was without the other person, the kickoff would have not been that quick. So how it worked was in the beginning of 2021, we started working in February. We launched applications in the end of April. This school also had this kind of bit different kind of selection process. So there's the 3-week test period. So the first ones we had in July and we started school in September. So basically in 6 months, we had the first 200 students and we kicked off the school. But I think, yeah, if it would have been one person started recruiting the rest of the team, doing all of this, I think it would have taken at least a year. So yeah, definitely like the kickoff was quicker than it would have been with one person.
Yeah. Nice. And I have actually, when I found out about the school, maybe a couple of years ago on LinkedIn, I got a bit curious because I remember years ago watching a documentary on Fresh Television about a school in France called 42. And that was that's maybe 20 years ago. I can't remember, right?
It was 10 years ago.
10 years ago. Okay. And I think it was created by the founder of Free, the telco company. And it was, I mean, the way the documentary was about, it's like sleepless nights, crazy things, being on campus, like, the life of like doing something wild. There are lots of coding schools out there. How is Kood UV different? I know it's focused on Estonia, but you probably have expansion plans, right?
Yeah. We also have international students. So I think we have 20 different nationalities. So I think in that sense, like what we're teaching, it doesn't differentiate that much. It is teaching people how to write code.
Yeah.
It is teaching some of the languages, but also the idea is it's teaching them how to learn a new language. So because they have to go through multiple ones. So they have to figure out like if you start with a new one, how do you start it? But I don't think you can ever teach anybody like all the languages possible because there's way too many and it depends on the company and so on. But I think what makes GGUTT different is the community. So first of all, how it was started, but also about the partners and so on. So it's not only like the responsibility of the government or like a one founder, but it is built together with so many different parties. And also with GGUTT, what makes a difference is that we built it in Jõhvi. So Jõhvi is the name of a small city in Estonia, and it's in the northeastern part of Estonia. So it's not the capital. It's about 2 hours away from the capital, and it's in Ida-Viru County that's mostly Russian speaking. It's a bit left over from the Soviet Union, I would say, and quite often it is a bit forgotten. So, there's not that much new things that, or like something as big being built there. So I think that also made it different, that we got to show that Estonia as a country is too small to just focus on the capital or the second biggest city. Like you can build also something away from those areas. And especially in terms of coding, because this is something you can do, you can also do remotely. So, you don't have to be in the office every day.